Okay, we're live. Hello and welcome. This is the mock voiceover auditions session hosted by Aimee Smith. My name is Chad Toprak. I'm the director of Freeplay, and I'd like to begin by acknowledging that Freeplay hosts and broadcasts from the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, where stories have been shared and games have been played since time immemorial. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and to anyone watching who has a connection to the world's oldest continuing culture. Sovereignty was never ceded, and the violence of the colonial project is ongoing. Freeplay also stands in solidarity with Black communities, both here and around the world, against prejudice, injustice, and violence. Black Lives Matter is not a new or revolutionary statement, but it is one that needs to be said and said again and said louder. So this is actually our very first participatory session. We have a bunch of attendees on the line here with us, and hosting this session is Aimee Smith. Aimee Smith is a full-time voice actress and frequent guest coach teaching Australians how to get involved with voicing in video games. She's the voice of over 100 video game characters, including Freedom Planet and Levelhead on the PS4, and Mobile Legends and Candy Crush on mobile. Aimee has talked at pop culture conventions, conferences, libraries, and schools in the past, and loves to give a unique perspective on the video game industry. Over to you, Aimee.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Chad and Freeplay. I'm so excited to be here today. Just one small little correction. As much as I would love to voice the Candy Crush, I don't. It's Crush Crush, but who knows, maybe one day. So I'm just going to do the 3-point check before... I will attempt to share the screen. Chad, do you mind letting me... Do I need to do anything from my end to share screen for the slideshow? Perfect. Thanks so much. Okay. So we'll do this one here. That is not right. Let's do a new one. Perfect. Okay. The 3-point check first. 1, can you see me?
Can we do this?
Yes. Do that. Yep. And you can hear me? Should have asked that first, huh? And then 3, you can see the screen.
Yes. I think so, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so welcome to the mock video game auditions. This is a lot of fun. I haven't done this panel since, I think it was July last year, and I have been dying to do it since because we had so much fun when we had done it at Smash. So today we're going to be doing some mock auditions for games that actually already exist by the Australian development community. So we have CLEA, BRIMSTONE, BRAWLERS, and ALLUNA and BRIE. They're all games that I've worked on. So all of the clients are supplying Steam keys for the winners of our mock auditions. And they give permission for these slides to be used as well. Before we launch into it, I'm going to do an acknowledgement of country as well. So Freeplay broadcasts from the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, where stories have been shared and games have been played since time immemorial. I myself will be recording from Dharawal land. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and to anyone watching who has a connection to the world's oldest continuing culture, and be kind to one another. I'm Aimee Smith. As mentioned in the introduction, I'm a full-time voice actor here in Australia and based in Sydney, and I primarily, 90% of my work is actually in video games. A few of you know my story, but I'll just do a little quick rehash to kind of start with where I began in my journey and kind of where I'm at now. I started this in 2011. Before that, I had done, I was an extra in a TV show that never actually launched. I did a bit of musical theatre, and I realized that none of it had quite fit with me. I was looking at applying to the University of Wollongong and doing a performance degree there. Changed it at the last minute, never knew if I got in, and was actually studying to be a teacher instead, to which I ended up teaching in primary schools for 5 years after that. And it was as I actually started studying for my degree where I kind of went, oh, I don't have the time to put in 1, 2, 3 times a week for musical theatre anymore. Being on screen just didn't give me the pull I kind of thought it would. And I did a Google search. So I was like, I just wanted something on the side while I studied and while I was being a teacher. And I just put in types of acting and it came up screen. And I was like, well, I already know that's not for me. Came up with stage and I'm like, yeah, I love it, but it's not quite the right fit. And then I came across voice. And it's crazy now to kind of think about it because you step into an elevator and you hear a voice and you pick up your phone and your phone speaks to you. And now you go to a self-serve checkout and that speaks to you. And we played video games and watched cartoons, but it never crossed my mind for some reason, even as an adult, that there was somebody doing the voices behind there. I just didn't quite connect it as a career move. And particularly in Australia, as we know, the idea of acting just doesn't feel very legitimized, which is a big problem. So anyway, I saw that. And then instantly that night, I went looking at, well, places to find auditions. And I came across the Voice Acting Alliance, which unfortunately has been disbanded as of the last couple of years. The Voice Acting Club, which is a complete upheaval and is now run by Kira Buckland. But it was disbanded a few years ago before being ended up brought back. And then I just started to audition for little student jams and student projects and things on Newgrounds and YouTube and just random little tidbits to see if it's something that I really liked. And I absolutely loved it. And then I think the turning point for me, because I saw this as a hobby for about 5 years entirely, it was just something I did for fun. But in 2012, I got booked in a game called Freedom Planet, where I'm quite lucky to play this little character. And the game did very, very well. And in 2016, keeping in mind I still call myself a hobbyist, I would never call myself a voice actor because I was a teacher who did voice acting. I was a semi-professional voice actor, which sounds stupid now, but that's what I called myself for the longest time. I would not call myself a voice actor. There was no way. So I actually had the opportunity to go over to the US and I recorded the sequel to Freedom Planet, still calling myself a hobbyist. And I went over to Texas, and it actually wasn't until Dawn Bennett had turned around, we met a couple of her friends, and she had said, oh, here are my friends, they are voice actors. And then something had clicked. I'd never even called myself that before. And I realized it had very much to do with the culture here in Australia, that we just didn't call ourselves actors because it came with a particular negative connotation that you only get paid in pizza and it's not legitimate. So then something clicked in me. I came back home and I kind of looked at my fiance at the time and just went, I would be a fool not to make something of this. And keep in mind, I had some commercial credits before that. I was in Steam games and mobile games, but it still didn't click in my mind. And then I ended up going full-time at the beginning of 2019 and have been doing it full-time ever since. But it's been quite a long road. A lot of it, I think, was impacted by mindset, but it's been a lot of fun. The concept of belonging, which is Freeplay's theme for this year, I touched on it a little bit then, but I think I didn't feel like I could belong to this career path due to being in Australia, because I think a lot of us have heard if you do want to do voice acting, if you want to be in games and all that sort of thing, you actually need to move overseas. And therefore, if you are in America, you're more afforded the title of being a voice actor, which I found quite fascinating. So I wasn't actually going to put up this thread, but I think it could best summarize that there is a state of belonging now for people who are overseas, who are voice actors, and I'm going to say who are voice actors, who do have a place in the video game realm. So I'm just going to read it out. Sorry, I know that you can read it here. But a thread for the remote talent, because obviously with everything going on with the pandemic, everyone's remote right now. But when you're actually outside of America, there's still additional hurdles there. I go into a little rant. I can commend one group without offending the other. I can commend one group without offending the other because I felt a little bit guilty about pointing out that it was for the remote talent. I love you all, but this one post needs to be for them. To my pro voice talent colleagues who don't come from the US, kudos. Kudos to you for getting through the can you do an American accent for the umpteenth time, despite already having said roles under your belt, but they noted your location or watched a video of you first. Kudos to the many rejections you've had, not because you weren't good enough, but because you didn't live in the city, nay, the country, where the client eventually decided that they wanted to be at the session in person, and as a result, you were no longer the right fit. It's not what you know, but who you know. And let's be honest, we hear this statement a lot. And I think for talent outside of America, it can come as a little bit offensive because it kind of invalidates your journey as to how you've gotten where you currently are today. Kudos for hustling to a point in which you made your portfolio, spent the money, and took the time in order to feel in the right place of contacting those who could help you reach the next step. That's all you with a helping hand. Kudos to you because I know only few of you. I could name a handful of voice actors from your country, if I'm lucky, doing what you do in the international space. We won't see the hours or the ladder you had to climb to get there, but I know you did it and I know you rocked it. Kudos to you for waking up really early or staying up really late, because the studio you're to work with only works their studio hours and you do whatever it takes to promise ease. Thank you for doing this so that we can all remain privy to such auditions, because if we're honest, this is a relatively new thing in which we are being privy to these opportunities. The number one positive thing that's happening amongst the insanity is that you're now being heard. You're starting to audition for jobs you thought were always going to be out of reach. You've been seen for your talent, your work, and your hustle that you've spent years cultivating. And some of you are booking big, and what's amazing is that's bigger than you. It's setting a new standard, normalizing a system where international talents are finally getting the chance simply to read for next level gigs. Well done, fellow remoties, much love. So I wasn't actually going to post up this thread. I hadn't actually put in mind that this kind of connected to the concept of belonging as presented by Freeplay. But I think it's a really important point, because not enough people in Australia realize that even though you are in Australia, you can still belong to this particular craft. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little sip. So what are we doing today? So open the link that contains the script. Is there anybody that hasn't seen it yet and came in a little bit later? No, we're all good? Excellent, okay. So what's gonna happen for each role that comes up? Oh, yes?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so it's just in the chat, but I will post it again now if I can remember.
Thank you.
No worries. How do I do it? More chat. Haha. I'm getting so good at Zoom now. I'm so proud. Okay, there you go. Did you get it? Maybe. All right, just let me know if you didn't, and I will find another way to send it through.
I got it.
Oh, awesome. Okay, no worries. Yep. All right, cool. So 5 people are going to be chosen to read for each character that comes up. When you're going to do your audition, announce your name first so that we all know what your name is, so that we can effectively type it into the chat box, and then voice your heart out. So everyone else, upon listening to all 5 of the auditions consecutively, you're then going to place your vote. I'm not going to be a judge. It's going to depend on all of the participants here as to who they felt best embodied that character. And then the person whose name comes up the most amount of times wins a prize. So there's a Steam code. There's 2 Steam codes per game that comes up. It's not an elimination round at all. So everyone looking at the spreadsheet that I have here will have the opportunity to potentially audition for 2 of the games that come up out of the 3. Okay. So some notes beforehand. So mindset, please don't get nervous. You can hear I'm nervous. My voice is shaking a little bit and I'm not even auditioning today. This isn't a coaching session. This is a convention. So keep in mind, I'm not going to pick apart your performances and say, oh, this was great, but maybe you should do this. It's not about that at all, because everyone here is going to be at different levels. Some of you have never done this before, might just be doing it from your inbuilt microphone. Some of you have lots of voiceover experience transitioning into voice acting, or you might have years of voice acting experience. It's really not my place. This isn't the right context in order to turn it into a coaching session. It is purely just to have fun and embrace the process. That's it. So please don't be nervous about it. As a result, everyone is in the same position. If I can call out Sarah Kennedy, she has lots of experience and yet she is so nervous.
I'm shitting my pants, but you know, I don't have a lot of this kind of experience. This is different. So
yeah, but you've still done it for decades. But the nervousness
poo in my pants right now.
Yeah, but the nervousness does not go away. I have done 50 presentations. I've done like 10 now, and I was still nervous doing this. So
I've got a really dry mouth right now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, oh, I need a drink. So yeah, please keep in mind, everyone's in the same position. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's meant to be fun. So have fun. Little notes about performance beforehand, because I'm not going to venture into it afterwards by any means. I'm just facilitating a fun activity. That's all. One of the things in order to fully embody the character is don't forget to gesture, because as people, you can see my hands are going crazy now. It's just a natural human reaction, to be quite honest. So don't forget to do that. It helps punctuate particular points. It helps to build inflection. I know that when I voiced an AI character, I was going like this, like crazy, just to get the cadence right. So it's like, hi, my name is Serena. I'm so pleased that you have chosen to download Crash Crash. And that's just what I did naturally. And it changes depending on the character. So just do it to help make those beats. Note any physicality that may impact the vocals. You'll find that with the characters come up, it's not like typical cartoony stuff where you see huge teeth and you start going like this the whole time. It's not really like that. But you will notice, for example, with CLEA that comes up next, she's quite small, quite petite, therefore the pitch might be a little bit higher. Therefore, she's not going to be a slave to the punctuation. She might take breaths at different times because she's young and the lung capacity is relatively smaller. So that's something to keep in mind. Another note, these are audition sides. So what that means is basically we've taken lines from different parts of the script. So it's sides of the script, but it also means that it's sides of the character. So really play with the perimeter of your emotional response to these lines too. Because keep in mind the casting director or the developer, if it's really indie, is going to want to be listening to not necessarily that your voice fits that particular line, but that they can say, oh, I don't need her to cry on that particular line, but there is a segment in the script a little bit later on in which it's good to see that she can do that. It's good to see that she can raise her voice. It's good to see these different elements. So try to make sure that it's not one note. I've made sure that there is plenty of time within this where you can really take the time to really recontextualize each line because it's not all from the same scene. So take that beat. You don't need to instantly go in 1 second later to the following line. Take 5 seconds, take 10 seconds if you want to truly visualize where that character is just based on that one line and the parentheses following. The last one too, for the purposes of this, don't get wrapped up in accents. Obviously, we don't want to be insensitive, so don't just put something on that you feel that you can't do very well. If you want to just play it Australian, play it Australian. If you want to just do American, do American. But if you don't feel like your American accent's up there, don't do it. For example, with CLEA, I did an American accent. For Brimstone Brawlers, like they're all American games, but for Brimstone Brawlers, they're like, oh, we want Australian talent, but we want different accents for some of the character. That's totally fine. For the third one, same sort of thing. They had me for an Australian role, but they also had American roles in there. So a lot of these developers are quite open-minded. So that's just something to keep in mind. And when you actually do submit auditions, they generally ask for 2 takes. That's where you can surprise them with your Australian accent for the second take because it's not asked for a lot. Okay, so they're the general notes. So a little bit about CLEA. CLEA is a survival horror game with no jump scares, and is centered around the character of CLEA. And it's made by Invert Mouse, who is a wonderful developer based in Sydney. So there's his Twitter if you would like to follow him. And he's currently working on an unannounced game right now as well. The game's out on Steam currently, but it's coming to the Switch a little bit later this year. So he's just a one-person team. He's done absolutely amazing. So we have CLEA, a quiet but brave child stricken by the curse of chaos mana, and Dad, an introverted yet cool-headed scientist. So you can see for these descriptions, and it changes for every single audition, you might get like a whole page of description that details what the character is, all of their relationships, and the vocal qualities as well. Or sometimes you get it very, very small and there's a heap of room to play, which is really amazing. So we're going to start with CLEA first. If any of these pronouns don't match up to your vocal type as well, if you want to let me know so that I can flip it on its head a little bit, so just let me know. But I was wondering for CLEA first, if going from top to bottom, Sarah, would you like to audition? Mm-hmm. Darcy? Yep. Samara? Oh, is she here?
Yep. That was
yeah.
a yep.
Sorry. No worries. And Red, I've got you as an observer, but would you like to do this? Okay, I'll skip it now. That's cool. I've got you as observer, but I'm like, oh, as it's going on, some people might change their mind. So just call out if you'd like to. And then Liba?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up for it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. No worries. All right, so I'm just going from top to bottom. So 1. Okay. Oh, wait, that was 4. Oh, can't count. That's embarrassing. I told you I was a teacher too, didn't I?
Hopefully it wasn't maths.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have acknowledged that. And Natalie, would you like to audition for this one as well?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll just go in that order. So it was Sarah, Darcy, Samara, Liba, and Natalie. If everyone else participating could keep the names in mind when they've announced them, because you're going to be typing it in the chat a little bit later, and I'll have a timer and everything as well. Okay, So when you're ready, Sarah.
Right. Okay, here we go.
On the spot.
All right, don't think about it, just dive in. Mom, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. That was brave. That was meant to be brave. Mom, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. I told you to leave me alone. Please. I never asked for this.
Awesome. All right. And then Miss Darcy.
My name is Darcy McGuire. Mom, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. I told you to leave me alone. Please. I never asked for this.
Awesome. All right. And then Samara.
Hi, I'm Samara. Mum, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. I told you to leave me alone. But please, I never asked for this.
Awesome. And then Liba.
Mom, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. I told you to leave me alone. I told you to leave me alone. Please, I never asked for this.
Awesome. Natalie.
Mom, Dad, Florine, we need to make sure they're okay. I told you to leave me alone. Please, I never asked for this.
Good job, guys. And I don't want you to blow out the microphone, but just a little round of applause for everyone because I know that's hard.
Yay.
Awesome. Good job. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a timer. And if you would like to type your votes into the chat as well. Okay, so it started with Sarah, Darcy, Samara, Liba, and Natalie. And go.
Do we vote if we were participating?
Good question. If you could actually,
Whoops, I just did. Sorry, I totally voted.
No, do
not
it.
for
Do it then.
myself. Not for
No,
myself.
do it. Do it. If you were a part of it, then vote for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the same round.
Well, it's not like we're going to be paying attention to who's starting for who.
Awesome. So the order was Sarah, Darcy, Samara, Liba, and Natalie. Hopefully this isn't too loud when it goes off. Oh, that was a bit loud. Okay, apologies. You don't know until you actually do it. Okay, and let's have a look at the chatsies. Ooh, we're so close.
Nice one, girls.
Yeah, well done, Liba. Good job.
Yay.
Done.
Oh, it's tied, wasn't it? Hold on. Oh, that's so tricky. Oh no, what do I do? Is there anyone else who is watching who would like to vote? Because there are only 8.
I think someone else just voted.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for breaking the tie because I was like, oh, I'm stuck now. Okay, Liba, good job. So I will send you the code to CLEA following the panel. Good job. Alrighty. And now we're going to move on to Dad. So an introverted yet cool-headed scientist. So Amos, would you like to audition for this?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Okay, and then we had Sean.
You mean me, Amy?
Is Sean here?
Hmm?
Oh, I think not. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I know this Sean. And I'm like, it's like 1 o'clock over there. It's crazy late. Okay, so maybe not. Matthew?
Just let me get for a second.
Matthew Archer? No. Oh, crumbs. All right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie's here?
Yeah, but I think Swan, is it Haru? I think Swan's Haru, right?
Unless it's a...
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
didn't put that. So it was Sean
Okay.
and Matthew and Eddie.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Eddie's here. It's really late over there too, isn't it, Eddie?
Oh no, it's actually 1 p.m. over here.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Nice,
That's
nice.
all right then.
It's
So
kinda
would you
dark.
like to audition for Dad?
Sure.
Awesome. And then Haru, would you like to audition?
Yes.
Yes, please. All right,
Round
cool.
2.
And then Suraj, I know you put down to be an observer, but if you're here, would you like to audition?
Where's Cyrock?
Oh, Cyrock, sorry.
He's
No,
not here? Oh, well.
That's all right. JM, I should have done a roll call to start. That would have made sense.
Mm.
JM, no, okay. Michelangelo? Nope. Okay. Zach?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. And then one more is Lachlan here.
Yes, I'm here.
Easy. Would you like to audition for Dad as well?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go.
Let's do it. All right, cool. And that was perfect. We got our 5. All right. And then Amos, when you're ready.
Okay, so my name's Amos. Enough experiments for today. It's too dangerous to continue. What are you saying? Our marriage was arranged from the start. How can I have regrets?
Awesome. All right, Eddie, when you're ready. I didn't mean to rhyme, sorry.
Okay. My name's Eddie. Enough experiments for today. It's too dangerous to continue. What are you saying? Our marriage was arranged from the start. How can I have regrets?
Awesome. All right. And then we have Haru.
Hello, this is Sun or Harrison X. Either way, anyways. Let's go. There's the page. Okay. Enough experiments for today. It's too dangerous to continue. What are you saying? Our marriage was arranged from the start. How can I have regrets?
Cool. All right. And Zach.
Okay, my name's Zach. Enough experiments for today. It's too dangerous to continue. What are you saying? Our marriage was arranged from the start. How can I have regrets?
Awesome. And lucky last, Lachlan.
Okay, here's all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Enough experiments for today. It is too dangerous to continue. What are you saying? Our marriage was arranged from the start. How can I have regrets?
Awesome. Good job. And a round of applause as much as you can, or the little fairy claps or whatever works. Good job trying to really emulate the convention experience. Awesome. Okay. So then for everyone else, so just a reminder, it was Amos, Eddie, Haru, Zach, and Lachlan. And we'll do 30 seconds. And just don't forget to turn down your headphones if it's a little too loud when it goes off. So don't forget, if you were participating, don't forget to vote for somebody else other than you as well. And then we'll have Freeplay as our tiebreaker. Oh, you're all such fast typers. Awesome. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to bother with that anymore. It's quite a novelty, but I think for the next 2, it's going to get quite annoying. All right, cool. So the chat. Ooh. Oh, good job. That was like quite split, but I think got to give it to Eddie. Well done, Eddie. That's great. So I will send you the CLEA Steam key as well following this. Good job. Is Eddie there? Oh, I see the top of his head. Congratulations, man.
I just didn't want to stand up because my mic is over here.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. All right, next game. So Brimstone Brawlers, so you can find them on Twitter at Brimstone Game. What's really amazing is this is a local brawler game. I really hope it gets a Switch release, but at the very least, it's going to have a Steam release. I got to play it at PAX and it was just so smooth. And they're such quirky, charismatic characters. They're a lot of fun. So really go wild with this. So we have the Countess first. So you can see there's just so much personality in these characters. I love them. So the Countess was married into a wealthy family at a young age. The Countess was soon widowed due to her husband's early demise, which sounds really sus, doesn't it? Bound to her manor and growing ever more bored, she turned her attention to the gardens, noble and playful with a morbid sense of humor. So you can see the description is quite significantly longer and you can actually grab quite a lot of character out of this. The butcher, who was a favorite at Smash last year, is slightly unhinged. The butcher is using the recent turmoil in Brimstone to venture out onto the streets to find the products to restock his store. He is gruff and excitable. So really have fun with these ones. Is there anyone that didn't have a turn in the last round who would like to participate? No? Okay, because if not, we've got a perfect 5 females, 5 males throughout this. So that's perfect. So if you guys would like to participate in every round, then you can. All right, we will start with the ladies for the Countess, and we can do it in the exact same order too, if that works. So Miss
Sure.
Sarah, would you like to go
that
first?
would be. I'll introduce myself this time. Sarah, hi everyone. Let's get off my stool. Butcher, I'm still waiting for that special order. My darlings are getting hungry. Oh, yes. My thorns came in so pointy this year. Time to weed out the weak.
Awesome. All right, next one, we have Darcy.
And once again, Darcy, and I'm not sure how to compete with that. Butcher, I'm still waiting for that special order. My darlings are getting hungry. Oh, yes. My thorns came in so pointy this year. Time to weed out the weak.
Awesome. All right, Samara.
Hello, I'm Samara. Butcher, I'm still waiting for that special order. My darlings are getting hungry. Oh, yes. My thorns came in so pointy this year. Time to weed out the weak.
Cool. All right, and then we have Liza.
Butcher, I'm still waiting for that special order. My darlings are getting hungry. Oh, yes. My thorns came in so pointy this year. Time to weed out the weak.
Cool. And then lucky last, Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie. Butcher, I'm still waiting for that special order. My darlings are getting hungry. Oh, yes. My thorns came in so pointy this year. Time to weed out the weak.
Awesome. Good job, guys. I love everyone going. I know it looks awkward, but still. Building morale. That's awesome. Okay, so I won't do the timer on this time, but you guys know if you could place in your vote. So it started with Sarah, Darcy, Samara, Liza, and Natalie. And then we'll have Freeplay as our tiebreaker. Ooh, and the votes are coming in. 7. And I think we're on 8, weren't we? 8. Awesome. Okay, let's have a look. Nice. And it's looking like Sarah. Oh, that was nice, Eddie. Good job, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. And then we move over to the guys. So the butcher. So are all 5 of the guys from last round wanting to do this one too?
Yep.
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 Awesome. Love it. So the order was going to be Amos, Eddie, Haru, Zach, and Lachlan. So starting with Amos.
Yeah, my name's Amos.
Hey, Countess! You know we have some supply issues. I'm trying my hardest.
It looks like meat's back on the menu. With the way this city's going, I'll be restocked in no time.
You have such an unfair advantage because your facial hair matches it perfectly. And I could see I could see everyone else was going, oh, this is perfect. I love it. All right. And then we have Eddie.
Eddie? Hey, Countess. You know we have some supply issues. I'm trying my hardest. It looks like meat's back on the menu. With the way the city's going, I'll be restocked in no time.
Awesome. Good job. All right. And then, sorry, I'm like reintroducing all of you anyway. So, sorry, if you know the order, you can just launch straight in.
All right. Here's my hard for this one. Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, Countess, you know we have some supply issues. I'm trying my hardest. Looks like meat's back on the menu. With the way the city's going, I'll be restocked in no time.
Super cool. All right. And next up.
Is that me?
Yes. Oh, wait. Yeah, Zach.
Okay, sorry, just checking. I'm Zach.
Oh, no worries.
Hey, Countess, you know we have some supply issues. I'm trying my hardest. It looks like meat's back on the menu. With the way this city's going, I'll be restocked in no time.
Good job. All right, and lucky last.
Okay, Lachlan Dwyer.
Yeah.
Hey, Countess, you know we have some supply issues. I'm trying my hardest. It looks like meat's back on the menu. With the way the city's going, I'll be restocked in no time.
Good job. All right, and then place your votes, guys. Some really interesting takes in there. Oh, that was fast.
Amy, could you say the order one more time?
Oh, yes, no worries. So we had Amos, Eddie, Haru, Zach, and Lachlan. Awesome.
That was really hard. There were.
I know.
That was really hard to choose one. That was amazing, boys. Well done.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, amazing. So good.
That's always a really fun audition.
It's like, oh.
Oh, 1, 2, 3 for Haru, 3 for Amos.
Oh.
Oh, the YouTube stream is loving it. Oh, that's so nice. You guys getting so much support. Oh,
Wait, hold on. I don't think I got the link for the YouTube stream. Can I get the link for that?
Oh, yeah, it's Freeplay posted it as well. So it was,
okay.
yeah, so it came up about an hour-ish ago.
Okay.
So I think we are on, oh, there you go.
Thank you.
They are so good. I think it's a tie. Is that right? Did I count that? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think it's 4
Yeah.
Amos, 4 Haru.
Freeplay, can you do us a favor, please? Haru, good job. Well done, Haru. All right, that was really hard. Oh, we forgot to do a round of applause. We talked about how great you were, but actually forgot to do that. So well done. All right.
Oh,
thank you, Freeplay. Okay, cool. And then launching into our next game, and we'll skip that timer. We don't need. Okay. So the last one for the day. So we have ALLUNA and BRIE. If you'd like to follow them, they're at Latched Up Games. This is actually a visual novel. It's got a little bit of mature content in there. But what's amazing about it, and it happens quite rarely even with Australian games, is that the universe is actually based in Australia. So there's lots of puns relating to our culture and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. And it's like 50 hours of gameplay, which is huge for an indie game. So they did a really great job. And that's currently out on Steam. Yeah, it's intense.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so ALLUNA and BRIE mock audition. So we have Eldorus. So you can see these descriptions actually started huge. So I needed to summarize it somewhat. Is an octopus girl from an alternate dimension known as the Frack. She is a high-ranking warrior in Queen Priscilla's army as she tries to help the Queen take over Axon City. She is quickly defeated by BRIE and her friends and is held captive in their basement where she mostly bums around watching movies on a laptop and plotting her revenge. She wants to kill everyone, but she has a bit of a soft spot for BRIE. which indicates a little bit about how she's going to react with particular relationships. And you can tell the game's a lot of fun, and it is still in a visual novel format, so the acting style might be a little bit different compared to our previous ones. And then we have Demetrius, a disgraced naval officer from the Galtician Royal Navy. I've said that word a few times and I still can't do it. Galtician Royal Navy, and he has turned to a life of piracy after fleeing from a massive naval conflict to save his own life. After being rescued by BRIE, he moves to Accent City, where he is incredibly confused by any and all forms of technology, to which you'll see that with the script that you'll be doing as part of the audition kind of indicates how that will be portrayed, which is a bit of fun. Okay, are we good for the same order for the ladies?
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Let's have a
Just
bit.
trying to read all of that and absorb it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, when you read it and then you go, yeah, I didn't actually absorb any of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
that's right. Take a moment. We still have lots of time, so just take those beats if you need them.
Okay, cool.
Amy, I just have a question.
Oh, yeah?
Could I attempt a gender bent version of Demetrius instead this round?
Yeah, if you'd like to, that's fine.
Sweet. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, I'm Sarah. Hi. You made a grave mistake challenging me to a fight. Tentacle terror! Soon the tables will turn, BRIE. Queen Priscilla will conquer your realm, and then I'll hold you captive in my basement.
Awesome. All right, next up, we have Darcy.
I am indeed Darcy.
I did it again, I know, I'm sorry.
So good.
You made a grave mistake challenging me to a fight. Turning down the game. Tentacle terror! Soon the tables will turn. BRIE. Queen Priscilla will conquer your realm, and then I'll hold you captive in my basement.
Awesome. All right, next up.
I'm Samara. You made a grave mistake challenging me to a fight. Tentacle terror! Soon the tables will turn, BRIE. Queen Priscilla will conquer your realm, and then I'll hold you captive in my basement.
Good job. All right, and so Libel will do you for next round then. So Natalie.
You've made a grave mistake challenging me to a fight. Tentacle terror! Soon the tables will turn, BRIE. Queen Priscilla will conquer your realm, and I'll hold you captive in my basement.
Good job. All right, guys, put in your votes. Oh, wait. Yeah, we were meant to do that. Good job. All right, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, it won't let me type.
Oh, no. What is happening? Oh, we got 7.
Why won't it let me type?
A lot of different
There it is.
interpretations
Okay,
for this one.
hold on, hang on.
We need that 8.
Okay, it's coming, it's coming.
I knew I should have put on the timer, man. All right, awesome. Let's have a look. Ooh, Sarah, Darcy, Samara, Darcy. Oh, all right, Darcy. Well done. You got that one. That was pretty split always, though. Good job. All right. So I'll send that after this. Oh, I was going to put down Brimstone Brawlers. No, that's not right. ALLUNA and BRIE. All right, cool. Lucky last. All right, Demetrius. So our order this time will be Amos, Eddie, Haru, Liba, Zach, Lachlan. All right, and then I will not introduce you guys. You got this. I was just going to do it. First up.
Cool. I'm Amos. I am the dread pirate Demetrius, and I shall cut you down where you stand. Cutlass cacophony! BRIE, what's going on? Water is falling from the sky. I've never seen something like this in frack. Ha! Just kidding. Of course I know what rain is. That's a hilarious joke I just came up with.
Good job. All right, next.
Eddie. Okay. I am the dread pirate Demetrius, and I shall cut you down where you stand. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down a little. Cutlass cacophony! BRIE, what's going on? Water's falling from the sky. I've never seen something like this in the frack. Ha, just kidding. Of course I know what rain is. That's a hilarious joke I just came up with.
Good job. I absolutely love that last line. It's just so cool. All right, next. Oh, it's a chat message.
Hold on. Yep, that's me. Haru, let's well, I need to pull up the page. There we go. Okay. I am the dread pirate Demetrius, and I shall cut you down where you stand. Cutlass cacophony! BRIE, what's going on? Water's falling from the sky. I've never seen something like this in the frack. Just kidding. Of course I know what rain is. That's just a hilarious joke I came up with.
Good job. And then Liba?
All right. I am the dread pirate Demetrius, and I shall cut you down where you stand. Cutlass cacophony! BRIE, what's going on? Water is falling from the sky? I've never seen anything like this in the frack. Ha, just kidding. Of course I know what rain is. That's a hilarious joke I just came up with.
Cool, cool. And next up.
Sorry, I got thrown off by the order is next to me again.
Now you're up.
Okay. I'm Zach. I am the dread pirate Demetrius, and I shall cut you down where you stand. Cutlass cacophony. BRIE, what's going on? Water's falling from the sky. I've never seen something like this in the frack. Ha, just kidding. Of course I know what rain is. That's a hilarious joke I just came up with.
Good job. All right, and the lucky last one for today.
Okay, welcome to Dwyer. Number 1. I am the dread pirate Demetrius. I shall cut you down where you stand. Number 2. Cutlass cacophony. 3. BRIE, what's going on? Water is falling from the sky. I've never seen something like this in the frack. Ha! Just kidding, of course. I know what rain is. That's a hilarious joke I just came up with.
Good job, guys. Everyone's little hands. Good job. All right, and then place your votes, please.
So hard this round.
Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you type now, Sarah?
I did, yes. Thank you.
Just checking in. Hey, awesome. Ooh, Haru. Wait. Oh, it's looking like Haru. Good job. Well done. All right, I'll just write myself a quick note. You all feel good?
Oh, that was fun.
Okay, good. I didn't know about the laughter. It's just a bit sarcastic. Like, oh, yeah, that was fun. No, that's good. All right. And then we have, 10 minutes. That was absolutely perfect. If you guys happen to have any questions.
Not really a question, just a comment that something like that where you just like, here's the script, go for it. It really, it really it shows how important a little bit of preparation is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and particularly because generally, like you've seen, when you get audition slides, like it's huge in terms of the description too. So like you have to cut out a lot even just to fit it in a presentation like this.
Yeah.
And as we know, like our first instincts aren't always what we end up going off with and sending off too. So there's a lot of refinement in there. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you get halfway through like a line and you go, no.
Yeah, I don't like that pitch. I don't like that accent. I'm just not feeling it. And a lot of Yeah, exactly. And it's even. Oh, no, that's all right. Who was it?
When you open your mouth, like you don't even know what voice is going to come out until you actually test around with it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you guys did so well because a lot of the time, like some of these characters you look at and you're like, I would never audition for that in a million years, but here I am. So that's good. That takes a lot of courage. Any questions, any queries, any?
What's the how's the state of like game development in Australia going? Is there much action? I know I talked to you about it, I think it was last year, and it was sort of, yeah, there's a few up and coming things, but obviously it's growing. Is it going well?
I think we can thank games like Untitled Game, which have created like a huge phenomenon and global success. And it's really showing that we should be putting in a lot more funding towards indie game development, because a lot of our games, like, it's not just, oh yeah, it goes out into the universe and it goes nowhere. Like, these games are going to Steam and then they find that they're being ported to the Switch and the PlayStation 4. And obviously there's a need for it, but it's quite crazy to see that it's just not being funded. So it is being increased. So for example, it was, I believe, the beginning of last year in which Western Australia started to provide a little bit of funding towards game developers. I think it wasn't very much in the large grand scheme of things, but I believe it was 100,000 split between a couple of different game developers in order to get the games over the line. But unfortunately, because I know, do we have 2 New South Wales people here? I think it's quite sad because New South Wales is the second biggest game developer hub, and yet there's no funding here at all. So Queensland has a bit of funding, Western Australia has funding, Melbourne will always be at the forefront for funding, which is why like Film Victoria was laughing when House's Untitled Goose Game ended up getting the spotlight, because they're like, yeah, we funded that, so they were able to put their stamp of approval on it. But yeah, I feel like New South Wales is going to be one of the last, and yet there's a huge amount of game developers here. So we're doing well, we're getting there, but a few states still left behind, unfortunately. But there will always be game developers here, and a lot of the games are doing well. I mean, Hollow Knight came out of Australia, and as we said, Untitled Goose Game and Fruit Ninja came out of Australia. Like, there are huge global games that have come out of our country. But yeah, it's just sad. The funding's not there. That's the limit. That's the barrier. It's quite sad.
Can you see the questions that have come up?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Chat, Amy, we've got some questions from people that are watching.
Oh, thank you for that prompt.
That's okay.
How and where can we find auditions like these? Well, for example, for CLEA, not for CLEA, but from the game developer, he actually had it on Twitter for his new unannounced game. The casting has finished, but Twitter is a wonderful hub that you should be involved with. There's lots of opportunities there. Even just put in, you can go through Twitter and use the advanced search function. It's a little bit tricky to find, but just shoot me a message if you can't find it. You can put in hashtags like indie dev, hashtag game dev, hashtag visual novels, and team it with particular keywords. So for example, you might put in voice or VO or VA with those particular hashtags, and you can find them exclusively on Twitter. But other websites is Casting Call Club. I know it gets a bit of flack, but when you're starting out in voice acting, it's great as a means to just build up your portfolio. There's a couple of gems in there.
I did have to yell at some people on
No,
CCC.
I know. That's, yeah. Oh, I was disgusted. I was disgusted. I was disgusted by that opportunity. Won't launch into that. But there are other gems on there, and there are little student games and things that you can be involved with there, because it does get a lot of traction. You put in voice acting auditions and Casting Call Club will come up on the first page. But there's also Voice Acting Club, which I talked about earlier. And if you even just type in YouTube, although it's not necessarily for video game opportunities, little short films and little fun series you'll find if you put in voice acting, casting calls, and variants like that. You can find some things on YouTube. But there's so many more. But they're kind of the beginning. If you haven't started doing this before, they're the ones where I'd recommend starting, and then private referrals become a thing, and then rosters, and it kind of just builds on from there. But start there first. Where is the best place?
Amy?
Oh, yes?
Is there like a physical place? Obviously not right now, but was there a physical place before that you could go to and practice?
A physical place? Oh, like, do you mean in terms of like in-person coaching and stuff?
I guess so, like, yeah, being in the group.
I know, like, Voices of Tomorrow. Where are you based, sorry?
East Melbourne.
Oh, okay, so for example, Voices of Tomorrow are based in Melbourne, so they do coaching sessions and stuff. They do one-to-one and they do group classes and things like that. But yeah, in terms of physical places, like I know that there's a group in Queensland that exclusively meets up. They're called QVAN. But in terms of being prominent in any other states, I haven't heard of any other ones that actually have physical meetups. But yeah, and Abby Holmes, yeah, exactly. She's great as well. What else is
Kevin
there?
runs the Tavern of Voices.
Yeah, Kevin
workshop.
Powell.
That happens every now and then.
Yeah, so is it once a month?
I think
that's
so.
Kevin Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The New South
Cool.
Wales course, what did they changed their name? It used to be King Studios. What are they now?
Oh, Voice Booth?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do some coaching as well. So where is the best place to put your voice acting up for other people to see? Oh, that's a great question. Everywhere. I know that's a really bad answer, but it's a lot of work. Hootsuite, and there are some other social media sharing sites that can help with this, because I know it can be exhausting to put things up on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And as we were talking about with TikTok earlier, it's exhausting to bring on another social media. But basically, the more places you put it means that there's more eyes on it. So don't restrict where you are sharing your work, because I know personally I get a lot of work from Twitter. Other people don't, but everyone connects to different social medias in different ways. So you're not going to know where you get the most traction until you do put it out everywhere. Getting the right voice for a character is hard. Have you ever had a character that you couldn't get your head around? All the time. Like I now know not to force it. If it's not within, not to say I only stick in my comfort bubble, but if it's like a Scottish accent and for example, not based on any particular previous experience, but if it's a Scottish character and you throw elderly on top of that, just it's not for me. So I'm just like, sorry, passing that on, even though I don't know anybody that fits Scottish elderly specs, I would generally refer it on. But yeah, there are just some where you're like, I'm just not the right fit. And you can't be too proud to admit that, because you generally know what you're great at in order to say, I'm not great at the other stuff. And that just kind of comes with experience. So refer it on if it's not your right fit. And there's no shame in that. In fact, they'll remember you and be like, oh, that was nice that they did that and help me find another voice talent. If I find specs that fit you perfectly, I'd love to work with you in the future. Happens a lot. How are we going? Oh, cool. What is good etiquette when reaching out to voice actors? Ooh, that's a good question. Try not to start off with a message that just says, hey, or how are you going? Like, it's nice and it's courteous, but in your first message, maybe just tell us a little bit about your game, ask if we're available, respectfully mention if the game is paid or not paid, because it's a little bit awkward to bring up sometimes and you don't want to offend the other person, but just be really, really transparent about where the game's going to be going. If it's a free release, you don't need to pay anybody. There are some voice actors that will say, oh, look, my rate is X amount, even if it is a free game, because it might be their full-time business. But just be transparent. If it's going to PS4, please say it's going to PS4. Don't make us guess. Don't make us go back and forwards and then feel like the bad guy when we say, well, sorry, it should actually be X amount. And don't be scared to ask questions too. Like, there's no harm in that as well.
Don't be vague from experience. Don't be vague at all. Like, make sure you have like a good communication stream going on back and forth. That makes an easy workflow, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And if a voice actor does say, I'm really sorry, I don't have the time to take on a free project, or I can't take it on at that rate, I'm really sorry, don't send a follow-up message saying, oh yeah, but it's only going to be X amount of time, or oh, but I worked with another voice actor and they did that. Everyone is different. So you have the option there to either say, oh, well, what is your rate? Or just say, oh, I completely understand, absolutely no worries at all. And if you would like to ask for a referral for another voice talent, you can do that too, but don't push on the point, because it just makes us feel bad and we don't want to do that. But yeah. I think that is perfect timing.
Was it? That was the bell.
Yeah, that was the bell. The metaphorical timer. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had fun.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy. That was great.
Congratulations, everyone. Well done.
Yeah, good job, guys. Yeah. And I will send emails to those people too with your Steam codes. Yay. Oh, thank you so much. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Good afternoon. Oh, I said bye, and then it's like quite a few buttons to actually get to the leave button. All right. Final goodbye. Bye.